Okay, I see the production value.
Hey guys, so we are live. We've got a special guest with us today. Nick is joining us. I'm gonna flip over so everybody can see Nick live. So hopefully everybody can see him. I've tightened up the setup a little bit, trying to get a little bit more professional with my look here. But you guys hopefully watched the reveal earlier today. We saw some pretty cool stuff coming in the next season, MM21. And so I thought it'd be good, and luckily Nick agreed to come on and hang out with us a little bit and maybe talk about some questions. We'll go through the reveal today. We'll talk about my trip to 7K. So I'm sitting at 6680 power, and you guys are going to help me make some moves, hopefully to get up to that 6700 7000 mark over the next couple days, and then we'll talk about the OD tourney coming up, which is end of. Thanks for the sub, Well Ray. We'll talk about the OD tourney where the registration ends today at 4 p.m. So make sure if you want to play, you get signed up. And then finally, we'll finish our discussion about defensive strategy. And thanks for the cheer, Asian. But Nick, is there anything first of all that you want to start off talking about with the reveal? I know you'd mentioned an announcement potentially that you might want to make.
Yeah. So obviously, whoever watched, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. I posted all the images on Reddit. I have Red putting them on my head while I'm doing this, and then they're in Discord, so we can totally talk about that. Also, the announcement: we are not going to not acknowledge the 98 issue with the gauntlet thing that happened, where people were repeatedly clicking the node and getting a lot of 98s. So we're going to do something. And we'll be doing something tomorrow. I'm going to leave it a little mysterious, but this is one of the bigger things I've ever seen the team come up with as far as what they're going to be doing to address it. It was unfortunate. It's just one of those things that kind of happened, and we tried to shut it down as soon as possible, but obviously a lot of people took advantage of it. But fortunately for you guys, we'll be doing something that will reward people that didn't do it, and just to say thank you for playing and everything like that. So just stay tuned tomorrow. Um, it should be out tomorrow. If anything changes, I'll let you know. But it'll be pretty special. If I can get it confirmed that it will be out tomorrow, I'll maybe leak something. But this will be pretty big as far as what you would be getting, and you will be getting something as opposed to taking anything away. But only the people that didn't take part in the 98 Gauntlet issue will be getting it. If you took part in it, you will not be eligible. So that's just where we're at right now.
Very cool. Hey, good to hear, Monty. You finally got a giveaway. Very cool. So Carlton came through, huh? um, so yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's being addressed. Really looking forward to what the team has come up with. I think everyone is anxious to see what happens there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and like obviously something we look to avoid whenever possible. But um, it's something that we know who did it and who didn't, based on a couple of different factors and things like that. And then also, I think the arena awards are a bit messy right now, so I've already submitted it. So hopefully we'll get something taken out, or get sent out or whatever, as far as getting that addressed. They're working on it now, so I apologize if you were affected by that.
Very cool. Yeah, forever the everything's in the MM21. When we roll over, nothing is going to carry over. So any badges or things that you have, the logos that we have, those things will not roll over. Although Nick has mentioned before that the team is working on something to do something that's not really a founder's logo, but something along those lines where if you've tied your account between now and or your current account to your account when you start the new season, then maybe they'll have some kind of cool logo or something like that available. But all of our old stuff, if you want to keep it, you're really just going to have to screenshot the badge and just keep it in your personal photos, and hang on to them, and then you can always pull those out if needed if somebody needs to know when you started. And so they're also not going to go into the details of what how they know people did that, the 98s
Yeah,
thing.
there's obviously ways we track that kind of stuff, and we do know exactly who did it and how many times and all that. So if you did it, you took advantage of it. You just won't be eligible for what we're going to do for everybody else.
And
and you're gonna miss out.
Trubisky has a question. He's talking about with the new core loop cycle. He's talking about. He asked what exactly is different about the recycle aspect when we currently have a recycle set in the game. In the game now, let's throw up maybe a picture, one of the screenshots from today.
Sure.
And that's the Madden Today thing that I have up right now. Is there a better one that would show the recycle piece?
So yeah, I can give you the core loop screenshot, but to answer the question, Trubisky, it's one of those things where right now I don't think anybody really likes to use the recycle set. I think it's absolutely unless you have nothing else that you can do, and it's just really like almost like a desperation. Like it's even with the update, it's still not all that valuable. So what they're gonna do next year is really make it a more core part of the loop where it will actually be worthwhile in doing so that instead of having all these things on your bench that you're not sure what to do with, that frankly all you're doing is trading in for Madden Max badges right now, that will actually be a part of it. So you run it, you know, your promo runs its course. Two promos later, you got a promo guy that you can't exactly do anything with. The recycling portion will be available for you to get some, whether it's crafting materials back or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to run the trade-in or the recycler, but it'll be a way more improved and viable way for you to continue forward, and so that you can, you know, continuously follow that loop where you get the stuff, collect it, trade it, craft it, whatever, upgrade it, and if you don't, and the things you don't use, you'll be able to recycle to help you put back into upgrading and creating other new players. So it'll definitely be like an enhanced version and a much more lucrative version of the recycler set. It could be in a different form. It might not just be one set. It could be a number of different sets. It could be a lot of different things. I don't have exactly an execution for that yet. Just know recycling and getting things back will be a big part of what we have going forward.
Thanks for the follow, guys. Biggie, Gary James, Carlson, K Sui. Yeah, so the crafting thing is really cool. I mean, I've got the QB screenshot up, which you can see, Nick. I mean, I think that's a neat aspect. These blank badges that are available and being able to really target specific positions. I think that's something everybody can potentially be. Absolutely be excited for. I mean, we're always chomping at the bit trying to get an offensive guard or an offensive tackle, or last season it was the defensive tackles that we couldn't get. And I think people will really have. I think that'll be exciting, being able to chip away at a specific player position that you know you need.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to go back to the Madden Today map, I can expand on some of that a little bit.
Sure.
Where you'll see on the Madden Today map, there's a bunch of different nodes on there, right? Where you have Scheme Academy, Position, and Team History. So you're going to be able to get players of your scheme that you need, positions that you need, and then also your team history, which looks really cool. I'm hoping to be able to show some of that, and that's going to be completely updated and revamped. So I think there's going to be a lot of ways to improve your team as an individual more. Just with base players and finding exactly what you need. There's events that are directly for coins or training points or XP. So we're trying to give you more ways to get what you need and have a more accessible way. Because right now I think like some of the things that you need in our game, you kind of have to go backwards and through a loop and all sorts of things to get, you know, all this stuff, right? Like clipboards are another one where we have like clipboards are kind of tough to get, right? And we want to avoid kind of that in the future where we give you an accessible and easy way to get everything you need. So in a similar vein, the blank badges rather, it's just another way for you to have more power as a user. The last thing we want to do is overcomplicate, right? So this is a legitimate concern. I've already seen it a couple of times where you already have enough currencies and enough things to worry about. We don't need more, and that's fine. I completely understand that. I just like the dev wants to empower you to be able to have more ways to create and get what you need. So it's not supposed to be more complicated. It's honestly supposed to be easier. So the execution of that is important. So we'll look at that and make sure that's a factor. And I know it is already, but as we get into next year, if we see this is too hard, this is too much, we'll definitely address it. But the idea is for you to be able to have more power as a user, create what you need, use the auction house as a trading platform, and obviously as a way to move players, but more of a way to find and get what you need. We are revamping that auction house. I can tell you that right now. I can't tell you how much and exactly what's going to happen, but I'm hoping to get some clearance and maybe I can get some accessibility on talking about that. But there will be a revamped auction house.
Yeah, and certainly people be excited about that. Fred, thanks for the cheers. Six Asian, thanks for the cheers. Solutions, thanks for the sub. That's amazing. We've got 87 viewers hanging out right now in the middle of the day, which is actually pretty cool. I'm always impressed when we pull, more than 40, 50 people during kind of a lunch break sort of thing. So it's very cool. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody's been hanging out. We've been here for about 10 minutes. So let me drop some loyalty points, which we'll use for betting on matches. Nick, if you've not been on the channel, you've not been on here before, but I have loyalty points that we give out to the players beforehand. Usually give them 100 points, and then they can use those points. They don't cost anything. There's no bits or anything like that. But then they can actually bet on the matches as we go. So they can drop points to either bet whether I'm going to win the match or if I'm going to get beat up pretty badly at the at the end of the match. So it's pretty cool. People seem to like it.
That's cool.
Just sent out 100 points to everybody that's on the chat right now. So you guys should have those. Those are in the queue to be given out, and then when we start playing a little bit, then you guys will be able to bet. And then of course we've got the Stream Boss. Jesus won the Stream Boss competition last week, and Stream Boss is running now. So you guys are chipping away. You guys can see the health bar at the top. So as you guys again follow, as you subscribe, cheer. Host the channel, those things will all knock out the health of the Stream Boss. And then of course if you're not sure what the Stream Boss is or what that gets you, then you can use the command !Stream Boss, and that will tell you what the Stream Boss is and what you get. So you get to be a mod for a week. You get to pick the content that we're going to talk about. You get to choose which giveaways we're going to have, and if you want, you can be on the stream, and you can also you can play up in OD if you want to. And also betting. If you guys have forgotten how to do that, you can do the ! Betting, or if you're new to the channel, and then that will tell you the rules on how you bet. 4 different options to be able to bet once we start playing. Thanks for the follow, Tacos and Maddox. Any other things on the crafting side of things? Is there anything else you can talk about, Nick? A little bit how that works when we've got these. Again, I've got this QB screenshot that we talked about where we have the gridiron dust and we've got these badges that are being used. Is there anything else really that you can say right now?
So, not a ton outside of what you're looking at. Obviously, you can use your imagination with the positions, so you can kind of exchange that. Gridiron dust is generally going to be a low form currency where you kind of need it for most of your crafting needs, but it's like the only one. So, and it's one of those things where you're going to get a lot of it just based on playing and things like that. So, I wouldn't worry about gridiron dust in the sense where you won't have enough of it. I think you should get plenty of it just based on, especially some of the core guys, how much you play. So, blank badges also will be able to help. I just think there'll be a lot of flexibility. So like you're going to be able to use these for promos. So let's say you've been playing and none of the weekly stuff like Team of the Week or Legends or whatever the weekly promo will be. Maybe those aren't really doing it for you, but you have a lot of resources. You can kind of turn those into something else. I think that's the goal here, right? Is we want you to be able to take everything that you're doing at all times in the game and kind of transfer it from place to place so you don't feel like you're excluded from different modes based on everything. So that's the whole point of the crafting, the recycling, and the collecting is we want to give you one core loop and a more fair system for you to distribute your resources in the best way possible. And if there's one thing I've learned from a lot of our core players is how their resource management is. Carlton's a good example of this. He's a hoarder, saves everything. So for somebody like him, this could be really lucrative because he saves everything, he can kind of transfer it for the things he wants and then save it for the things he doesn't if he doesn't want them. So that's definitely it. Like obviously we'll get more into a lot of this stuff as we further along. The streams will differ, but there'll be more stuff being released and everything like that. So I think it'll be really cool for you guys to see as we go forward. And then I do want to mention I did bring a 105 to give away, Bulls. So
oh man, that's awesome! A free 105, man. You can't beat that at all.
So we have 105 viewers on stream right now, which is kind of ironic.
Hey, that's ironic. That's perfect. So Gary James, I don't know if you're following the chat or not, but he says Nick is the man. Appreciates what you do for the community.
Appreciate you.
And Trubs Trubisky has another question. He's asking, do you think it's likely the new AH will make teams promos have a select all box like positions instead of having to manually click them all individually?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question.
That's some good feedback, though.
Yeah, I can take a look as far as what it will function. I'm like when I talk about the auction house, it's more of like core function. So as far as like kind of quality of life features, you can totally send them to me, and I can see if I can get those added. Repost all button won't probably be back because that was used as an exploit for a lot of people. Yep. So I know it's a super nice quality of life feature, but It's just a potential, so like it's a risk, so we probably won't put it back. But the auction house will function completely different. I see a lot of comments about what you want done. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it got completely revamped. So I'll have more on that. Like I said, I'm really hoping to get more clarity on if I can and can't say the things I want to say about it because I think it's important and I know how much of a pain point it is for some of you guys. But definitely stay tuned if I can get some permissions and things. I'll try to talk about it as much as I can because I know it's important. But it will function very differently.
Dark Magic, yeah, so they're Dark Magician. There's going to be more stuff. You just have to watch the different streams that Nick has planned out. Take a look at the calendar, and then he'll talk about the different modes of play as that goes on. I think the competitive one is July 20th, I think, and that's the one I'm
Yep.
chomping at the bit to be able to sit down and watch. But yeah, so just check that calendar, Dark Magician, and make sure you tune into the streams, and that way you can get that information as it comes out.
You and I personally have had a lot of conversations about matchmaking and exactly what we use to help people find each other and things like that. So a lot of those conversations get translated into 21 from our game changers. So even now we've tried to make some tweaks because we see a lot of people, when they first start playing, they're playing really high skill guys or high power people. I know it's kind of tough towards the end of the year where everybody's kind of getting matched up against everyone, but I think for next year we're really going to look to enhance the matchmaking system and try to make it a more fun experience and have more parity and things like that. So definitely, we'll let you know.
Yeah, that'll be appreciated. There's a request in here. They want a pack slider to be able to buy multiple packs. So if you wanted to buy like 500 pro packs, being able to do that instead of one at a time.
That's a good question. I'd have to ask about that.
Yeah.
Good quality of life feature. Not something that was on my radar, so I'll see if I can do that.
Well, that's like the the repost all is something that I can live without as long as the open all button stays in the in the UI.
Open all will be there, auto button will be there, all that good stuff. Like we generally won't pull a feature out. Like tournaments, I think will be back, and like some of that just based on the title. So we're gonna do a bunch of those things and try to keep the quality of life up to where it is now, and then add some other stuff. Like I know for a fact, special teams won't be in 2-point conversions. I tried to get that removed this year. They kicked it to next year, but they're already pulled out, so you can't do it.
So what 105? We've got 124 viewers on right now. What 105 are we giving away? What is the prize?
I can come with one, so I figured if you guys want to throw it out in the chat and let them pick or whatever, we can get some engagement going.
Yeah, we can run a poll. Do you want to make it off the new Takeover series?
I will leave it completely up to you in the chat.
Okay.
I have no parameters as far as what you want to give away for a 105. Just know I have one.
Well, so maybe we just do it as a choice to whoever wins the giveaway then.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, so that's pretty amazing. So we have a completely wide open 105 giveaway, your choice. That's pretty amazing. So we will, since it's Monday, I always like to start the giveaways with the day of the week. But since Nick's here, let's hang out and we'll do the giveaway as Nick, N-I-C-K, for the 105. I always like to celebrate the day as the first giveaway usually. So Nick, N-I-C-K, and that giveaway is live right now, N-I-C-K. Making sure I see the eligible folks pop up here. Thanks for the cheer, Fred. Yeah, there we go. It's counting up. I always like to watch that giveaway, or the eligible users, making sure they're ticking up like they're supposed to. So it's pretty awesome. So it's a 105 of your guys' choice. Whoever wins the giveaway, we'll leave that live for just a moment or two, and then we can go through. So again, let's pop up just some of the screenshots that we saw earlier today. We had the crafting again, which we've talked a little bit about, and here we have just the basic item screen there. Also, we're this being able to pop in what these sort of things look like. Looks like we've got a little more traditional style sets kind of coming back in. Is that the case, Nick?
I think this one specifically is a little easier to navigate. The cool thing about this is you're going to be able to trade these with amongst each other. So I think that'll open up some of your I know the number one thing I think people ask me is like, can we trade badges and stuff? So I think this is where you're heading, right?
Yeah.
Where the step is to be able to trade and access, all these different options via your friends on the auction house or whatever your other users. So hopefully that would open it up for you a little bit. But as far as like traditional sets, I'm pretty sure you'll see some of these, yeah, and going forward. I don't have a ton of new information on content because content is still working on season 6, right? So the season 7 content team is probably towards the end of the stream cycle, just based on where everything is in development time. Because content had been working, on season 6, the current version of Madden Mobile, for quite some time. So those guys did eventually, they get pulled into season 7, but a lot of them are still on season 6.
Right. Thanks for the follow, 26-year-old, Bob the Slicer, Dave, Jake is Frosty, Trey3, thanks for the follows. Again, make sure if you want the giveaway, the 105 giveaway is live right now. You have to follow in order to win the giveaway, and that's the only requirement. And then we'll roll here in just a minute. So, I was excited to see these first screenshots, and I think everybody else is really chomping at the bit, like I said, to try to see, what's coming. I think everybody's really excited. We've got the new app coming, so there's lots of possibilities there with a new app and new things to bring in. We did have Combine, who's a notorious wide receiver screen user or screenplay user. He wants to know when there's a full screen playbook coming for MM.
Oh no, I think I'll make it exclusive to Carlton because he loves screenplays so much.
Oh yeah, I'm with Carlton. I hate those things.
I don't, as far as playbooks, that's another good question. They're getting worked on, and I know they haven't fully been implemented yet, so I don't have full access to that kind of stuff. So there is some stuff we can talk about, but maybe further down the line. I am giving you some more of the high-level core stuff. Master Series is a backbone of our game, and you'll see that next week because of its importance, and then the changes there. I challenged Shane a little bit on that stream with the time locks and some of the other stuff. I think you guys would be interested in hearing it because I know how much you love time locks. So trying to do what I can there.
Yeah, balls on. I think voice chat for OD would probably escalate too quickly.
Oh no, that seems like it could go bad real quickly.
Okay, well so we've got 105 eligible users in. Again, we've got 133 viewers on right now. Again, Nick, the giveaway is live right now, NICK, and this is for a 105 maxed player of your choice. So awesome, Nick, coming on to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give you guys about 10 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and roll this giveaway. So NICK giveaway is live. Get them in. And here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and Pupil Juju won the giveaway, but he's not following.
Oh no!
Reroll. What a way to lose the 105.
Come on, fellas, you gotta be following.
All right, we got to reroll. Get him in, Nick.
Reroll it.
Gotta follow, guys. Just gotta click the heart. Absolutely free. Thanks for the follow, guys. Braves Payne, X Dirty, Epic Memer, Julio, Pew, Marky Mark. Lots of people coming in. Those 105s, man, always bring in folks. All right, so let's roll this again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Fred, yeah, PH Fred with the win.
Is he following?
He is following. Yeah,
cool.
He's been a follower since May 20. He's been one of the early guys, man, on the streams.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, even when I was testing it out, Fred was on here playing kicking my rear end in OD because he's got like a 2,000 power advantage on me. All right, Fred, I'll send you a whisper, and we'll get you that player. So, you want to post in the chat who you think you might choose? Thanks for the cheer, Fred. Let's see if Fred pops up who he's thinking about. Fred's already pretty well maxed, too.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should fill you guys in on. Just definitely stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm working on a bunch of different things for the... I know there's also players from like the Master Series that people are pulling out of the 100 OVR packs that you can't really do anything with. So I'm going to try to address that as well. I honestly have like 5 items on the docket as far as like making things better. So I'm going to try to do that with the head-to-head, the field pass, the points, the seasons, everything. So I'm going to try to work on all that stuff and get it. Hopefully by the end of the day today, I'll have some updates for you guys on forums and things like that.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. So you guys want to get into Nick? Is there anything else you want to add, or are you able to stay on, or you need to get out and get back to work?
No, I can hang out for a little bit, but I'll probably bail when you start playing the game, so you guys can focus on that. The reward is only going to people that didn't do the exploit on stage 6 and stage 10. I believe it's then. I'll have to double check on exactly the parameters they're setting, but I'm pretty sure it was only the 98s, which I think was stage 10. So I'll double check, but there is we have the list, and you'll know tomorrow.
And I think that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense that the make good or the reward would come out for not taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I think it's important that we do something for people that definitely are at a disadvantage with some. There wasn't a lot of them, but it's important that we do something for it and appreciate those that decided against it, because I know it was attainable for many. So um, we will definitely keep you updated tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure when that'll come out, hopefully on reset, but I can't confirm that yet. But you'll definitely be intrigued. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that's cool. And Pupil Juju is now followed, so he's now eligible for the giveaways if he gets pulled again. And
Big L is right.
and yeah, we will have some more giveaways. So we've got for the rest of the time we'll do. Bruce was asking. Bruce Hudson was asking if we'd have any more giveaways, and yeah, we'll have. We'll do some giveaways for the TO players that we have. So we'll do some of the 100 overalls. That's what we're able to kind of give away now are the 100 overall masters. So you guys are more than welcome. And you said the 98s are okay for them to pick as well, right? If they want a component for building the master, that's also okay, right?
Yeah, of course. You can pick whatever you want for the most part in your parameters. I don't have a problem with the 98s. I have to go grant. Like I was off on Friday for Juneteenth doing some work, so I have to go and like grant a million things. So I'll definitely head on over there today and try to get that done.
Yeah, that'll work. Thanks for the cheer, Crane. So all right, well let's jump in. And so the thing we've been working on is really trying to get my team up to 7K. And so now I'm sitting on a bunch of badges. I finished up getting Schofield. So Schofield is the master that I finished. I'm not sure I'm going to go for any of the other masters, other than just working on maxing out the rest of my team. The masters probably will end up being badge fodder for me. So I'll go after him, not to roster, but go after him just so I can get more badges to max out the team. So what do you guys think? So I need to get a poll going here for who you guys think ought to be the next max that we have. So I'm going to pull up my poll here if I can find it.
Somebody asked me while you're doing this.
Yeah, sure.
If 21 is going to be better with ratings and players. There's definitely some changes that went into archetypes and how those are working, which is a stream not this week, the following week. So I think you'll definitely be interested in checking that out. So make sure you watch that. Archetypes and how they were now. The stats were really weighted based on the archetype, and it made it kind of hard to develop creative players. And you kind of saw that similar trend in players all year because of some of the difficulties those archetypes presented. But we revamped and restructured exactly how those are working. So I think you'll see some more variety in players next year, and exactly with the archetype, when you create a player that's a scrambling QB or a field general or a physical wide receiver, you'll see some more differentiation between those and how those are going to function, and then how the OVRs will register with those. Stay tuned with Master Series. Will Master stay relevant longer? Like I said, content is probably my least, as far as the information that I have, it's probably the least because of where they're at in Season 6 and transitioning to Season 7. That will be more towards the end of the months here as we get closer to launch that we'll have information on that.
And oddly enough, Greeny's asking for a power explainer.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a lost in the mailbag. somewhere. That's
Right.
for sure. The +5 power and archetypes would probably be a whole nother stream in general. I do know how it works and everything like that, but let me see if I can put something together and get it done. I just like a lot of it is changing, so it's hard for me to want to go back and explain a bunch of it when, a lot of that stuff is going to be changed for next year. But yeah, there is some in-depth explanation that I can go into as far as how that works, the archetypes, and when the +5, how that affects your players, and then the power, the verses, and whether you're minus and plus. And there was a lot of we did a lot of investigation into that. I did a lot of work with some of the game changers into that, and it is functioning the way it's supposed to be functioning. It's a pretty heavy process, which is something we probably are looking to change next year because you need a math degree to understand some of it. So I'm going to try to. I'll see what I can do as far as explaining it this season. I probably won't get into a ton of it just because of how much is changing, but yeah, I'll see if I can address that for you.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, there's not much of a point to put a huge amount into stuff that's going to be a little bit different next year anyway, or quite a bit different. I mean, there's just not there's not much value. I mean, it'd be better putting together something. I mean, my personal opinion, it'd be better putting together the content for what's going to hit in MM21, and that way we hit the ground running, kind of with that more advanced information, maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I do have some information on it, but if I say the word power, people get really upset at me. So I'm trying to avoid it. I mean, I'll get more information on it, like power boosts and things like that. We'll have a stream, and I'll let you know how those are functioning. I think it'll be more um, interesting, so you guys will be able to see how it works, and maybe equipped with the information that I feel like you may have lacked this year, earlier in the season. It may help and make it something that you guys are actually somewhat less resentful towards. I understand your feeling towards it and why you feel the way you do. So I will tell, like, I've talked to the devs about this and kind of the negative sentiment around power and everything. So we're working on it. I know some people don't believe that I actually tell devs things and like go back to them and the conversations that we have. I think Vol's can attest to some of the stuff. Like we have a lot of conversations about these kinds of things and how to make it better and how to try to make the game experience more fun. And whether you believe me or not, that's up to you. But there is a sincere effort to try and make these things more attainable, more accessible, and just an overall better experience. And 21, I hope, will really emphasize that because I'll have been here for a long time. And so, like for me, like not to get too off on a tangent here, I started in like now August. So
Yeah.
like it's hard to really make monumental change really early. So now that I've had a full season, I got to know a lot of people here. I've definitely figured out how things work and things like that. So hopefully I can help you guys in getting some of the things you want on your wish list and make it an engaging and fun experience as we move into next year. And plus, there's plenty of things I can't talk about that you haven't even seen yet. So
Like I said, I think there's a whole setup or a whole stream sometime in July for the overall and archetypes. I think that's one of the dedicated stream contents is that information.
yeah, so it's not this Monday, which is Master Series. It's the following Monday.
Yeah, and that certainly is one that any competitive player needs to sit down and tune into and see what's up with that for sure.
The dev on that stream is one of our competitive devs, so he has a lot of insight, and he's one of the smarter people that I work with. So he should be able to talk about how those archetypes are going to function. He had a really big part in creating them, and I'm hoping to bring on Goss, who you guys know is our player guy. So hopefully he can come on. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gotten a confirmation out of him yet. So at least one will be on to discuss it and how it's going to function, because obviously OVR and archetype are hand in hand with competitive and how that works. So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and understanding that. I mean, when you're building out your team and trying to figure out how do you want to position players, understanding whether that's stat weighting, is it player performance, is it, is this going to impact how this person is actually going to play on defense or as an offensive player? That stuff. Like DMB just said, Vol blink twice if you were in trouble.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a big part, right? Where you can feel how some players, are in game. Like you have Mike Evans on the screen, like he's a monster,
Yeah.
and you can feel him on the field. Pat Tillman's another really good one. Sean Taylor, like these guys are all really popular because of how they play. So I think it's important that going into 21 we get a similar feeling with a lot of our players, so that when you have them on the field, you feel the difference and you like and actually enjoy playing with them. So a lot of that is part of that conversation and how those guys function. And like I said, the Def coming on, he's competitive, but he really values competitive players, which maybe isn't the case everywhere. Where he specifically goes out of his way to try to do everything he can for our core and make it as fun and engaging as possible. Whether it always translates is hard. It's a big machine here that has to run in a lot of ways, but he does his best to try to make competitive a fun and engaging experience just because he is a competitive gamer himself.
Yeah, and thanks for the follow, Coach Beard, Niners, and Vibby. Yeah, I mean, these competitive things really are, the gameplay is really important. Kelsey, Tillman, those guys, I mean, some of these guys play just above their stats, right, is what we always say. And there's a few of those that have been like that. Sean Taylor is one that at 100 felt like he was already a maxed player.
Mm-hmm.
And those, have been good investments overall because you can, get him to 100 and then work on maxing another player that maybe didn't have that same sort of, fundamental performance. And for me, I know I've personally appreciated the, as somebody that spends money on the game, puts a lot of time in the game, for me, it was really, I really love the fact, like Vic, right? Being able to keep my Vic from the time I got him from LTD and kind of grow him up as the game progressed. And even though the cost, and we've talked about this before on the stream, but even though the cost to upgrade these guys got somewhat expensive, and you couldn't keep everybody like that, but being able to choose a player, especially on offense, where you know how that guy plays, you know how he works on the team, you kind of have a feel for the release of the football, for example, the feel for how they pivot and turn when they flip out of the pocket. Those sorts of things, I think, as a competitive player, are really important for me, or were important for me for this year to be able to hang on to these guys. And it really, for me, it felt like I had really had an investment in the game throughout the course of the season. So I mean, the time that I put into Vic, the money that I put into Vic, and he's still here. He's going to be my end-game quarterback, and that for me has been a pretty amazing experience, actually.
Yeah, and it should be interesting because as far as I know, NFL 100 was obviously this year. I'm not sure we do anything like that next year, just based on the NFL. But with these kind of players that were used early and then sustainable, I think there hopes to be with the new core loop something of the sort. I don't know if Evo will be a thing or exactly how that's going to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead you on in that sense, but I think the idea is to play, collect, upgrade, and continue with the players you want to play with is something that is important. Nobody wants to use the best player all the time just because it's the best. Some people want to use Russell Wilson because they like Russell Wilson, and I think that's an important distinction and something we should provide people.
Yeah, and I think that's something that is really cool about the end of this season. Yeah, I do need some TP, Coach Beard, for sure. The training points are low, my friend. The being able to, and I completely lost my train of thought watching. I get off track, man. Trying to play OD, keep up with chat. but yeah, I mean the again, it's that playing with the character and being able to put the time into them, and then how they operate, how they work, and it looks like the crafting sort of stuff is, even though it may not be Evo, may not be something like that, but just the fact that you can kind of go after a very targeted sort of position, and again potentially upgrade or change or invest those players into something else. For me, as a player that spends a lot of time and quite a bit of money on the game, it's good to kind of feel like you actually have that investment in a player. And again, just so again, maybe you just like to play with that player, and that's really cool to be able to just get that guy and be able to keep them on your roster throughout the year, and not have to, not feel like you have to pick a new player just to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, right?
Right, exactly. And so there's got to be a happy medium somewhere in there, and we'll work on that. There has been a lot of good posts on Reddit. I can't comment on half your guys' posts because of the language and the subject matter, but just know the spicy memes are appreciated, and I do scroll through there. Somebody called me a troll on Reddit too. Like, I just am a meme culture guy. Like, I think I have a lot of fun with a lot of you guys out there, guys and gals. So like, I'm not like, if I'm joking around, it's just to be it's a bonding thing and everything like that. Trust me, like, I take everything relatively seriously as far as concerns and all that. I just I'm all about the meme culture, so like, I go through there and laugh, or I try to be a little quirky with my answers, a little cheeky, but definitely don't get upset or anything like that. Nothing is ever harmful or anything like that. We're just having fun out there, especially on Reddit, because you guys are good at it.
Yeah, that's the place to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's put up the poll. So Fred's asking who I'm maxing today. So let's put up the poll here. I've put in Schofield, Matthews, Juju, NTL, and Fletcher Cox as the options that I have for maxing. Those are the guys that I think. Although I probably should put in Deion Sanders, but the Twitch polls only allow me to put in like 5 or 6 people. But let's start that poll. It's going to be up for 5 minutes while we kind of go through. So the poll should be live. Which player to max? For me right now, Juju is probably the weakest player on my team offensively in terms of the ones that I really need, and that would be one where I could get a pretty significant power boost going from 136 to a 200 automatically. I picked up Matthews and Schofield, and obviously those guys are really inexpensive to max, right? It's only like 15 badges, but I'm only going to get that 30 power bump for those guys. And then on the defensive side, I've got NTL. NTL probably is these 25 badges to update or to upgrade, but he's going to give me the biggest power boost at 130, so I'm going to get the full 70 with him. Fletcher Cox, similar sort of way where we've got 160. And Aaron Donald, I'm not quite sure I want to max him because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go for one of the other DTs that are out there. So what are you guys thinking so far? So again, we got some Schofield. Looks like Fletcher Cox is the early. He's taken the early lead, 71% so far, saying Fletcher Cox. Any thoughts, Nick?
I gotta be careful what I tell you to do here, because I know things. Let's see, you got some good players already maxed. Man, your secondary is monstrous.
Yeah, the defense.
Nice.
Night Train's my only. I mean, he's my weakest link, but like for LVL and Arena, but LVL is my primary play, obviously, and I only run a 3-4 with only like one dime configuration in there. I don't have any nickel plays, so maxing NTL is more about the power, right? And then he would help me obviously in OD when I have I don't have control over the defense at that point.
I'd probably go on offense just because of how stacked your defense already is, and then the positions you'd be upgrading are of less impact than a wide receiver like Juju if you're going to keep him. Juju's going to help you actually throw to him. So
yeah, that's my thought. That's why I was leaning towards Juju, but the audience is saying 1% voting for Juju. My personal vote.
Like Juju, though.
Yeah, right. My personal vote is for Juju, which I just voted in the poll for myself for Juju. But only 12 people. There's 700 votes right now for Fletcher Cox.
Oh, man, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's huge.
So they're like spamming the button. Hold on, they're cheating. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, and they do have, there are some guys that if you've got bits or if you've got points on the channel, you can also vote more.
I'm going to click Juju. And I just keep, no, I can't. I don't get any cool votes.
No votes. I wonder why.
No, I got one.
You got one. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70 people, 7% for Juju. So the top, we've got Fletcher Cox, 75%. You've got Schofield at 16% and poor Juju at 9%. No votes or 4 votes for Matthews and only 6 votes for NTL, which is pretty amazing.
You can hide the NTL, I think. You can get away with that. Cox is a good one, for sure. Pass rush is always nice, but I would just go with the wide receiver just based on offensively. You're going to use him the most.
Yeah, I feel like he's who I need the most, especially, like in OD where, the captains are what they're going to be, right? So, that having Landry in there at the slot, and then I've got a weak wide receiver out on the outside. I've obviously got Megatron on the other side, but he's going to be covered up at some point, and it'd be good to have that other player. But it looks like I'm going to have to get some more badges. And Max Juju is my second option. The crowd is voting for Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta get into the game because I gotta get that Gardner Minshew card that dropped today.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
I gotta go grab that. I was super excited about him, and somebody was asking for Kamara, and I couldn't say anything. That's the hardest part. It's like I know a lot of these things and I can't tell you. So I was really excited for that. The shoe. Even though I have Sam Darnold and I'll never actually play Gardner, I just want him because I think he's so great.
Well, as a spread player for me, that Matt Paradise card looks pretty good.
Ooh, yeah, huh? Don't spread needed a center, right? I kept getting yelled at. Spread center.
Oh
So
yeah, no, I mean I
yeah.
just actually pulled. I mean these guys have been on the stream. They've watched me play with my elites in just to keep the power in. So I was running my center, my right guard, and my right tackle were all elites, and then I would swap in like the 97 Mawe, the Strahan. I mean I was running on fumes for the right side of my offensive line. So power line really helped with Matthews and Thuney being able to pick those guys up. And then you can see, my weak spot right here now is Daniels that I picked up from the MF promo. So finished up that field pass requirements and pulled him out, and then kept him. But if I can work off that Paradise, then that would be good. Although working for Paradise is actually counter to where I was heading with potentially getting Mel Blunt maybe as an NTL replacement if I could pull off
Right.
the two.
Yeah.
And not have to burn the badges on NTL. But see, it's NFC, so I'm gonna be splitting and just working for badges then at that point.
So I feel like you have to pay the max cost, but because these guys are 100 OVRs, you have a little bit more flexibility, right? Because all these guys are maxable. So like I think the center for your case might be more important.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree, and he's got decent stats. I mean, his blocking is good, awareness is good, which I love. I love awareness on linemen. The other thing I look for is usually agility, and agility is the key one for me for a lot of linemen. They need to be able to pivot pretty quickly.
for sure.
Um,
I have a document for stats too. I'm going to try to go over in what we're doing. I wrote down all of the attributes and explained what every single attribute does. And I took it to Dev and we went over it. So I think I'm going to put that in our stream. I got to confirm if I can use it or not, but I did think it's important for you guys to know what the attributes do. This is one of those like transparency things I think is important. Dev doesn't really mind. It's just somebody's got to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to do my best to kind of provide that information for you. Awareness is a really good stat, for instance, and it's an important one. So the one thing I will say about the Fletcher Cox is you definitely, like, if you're going to replace a position, like, Juju is probably the most likely because wide receivers come out a lot and a lot of them are sexy. So, like, you might have like Fletcher Cox you probably wouldn't replace.
yeah,
I mean, he's so good and he's monstrous.
yeah,
So,
that was overwhelming. So 53% of the vote, 963 votes to Fletcher Cox. So that appears to be who I am maxing out right now.
yeah, no, that would make sense. It's just because he's, like, irreplaceable in a lot of ways.
And he's a big
Those,
guy too. I mean
well, that's
that's
the thing, right? The Carlton that they're putting basketball players on your front line there, and they're all like 6'8".
yeah, it makes a difference. I mean, it's those big guys. I mean, they can they fill up the gaps. I mean, that's what they're there for. All right, so let's get our training points, which I needed TP, so maybe that'll help me get some make some
Nice.
headway there. All right. So I think it's about time to do another giveaway also. So we've got
Yeah, definitely.
some
And
hundreds
then
up.
I have a meeting at 1, so I can hang out for a few more minutes, then I have to jet.
All right, well, I really appreciate you being on. It's fun hanging out.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit all the streamers I possibly can. I gotta go on Logix, but Logix will be a promo reveal. Hint, 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 hint.
Let's see. All right, there we go. So we're at the 6,700 mark. So I still got quite a bit of work to do. Let's go ahead and put the full 69K into Fletcher Cox. So we're at 6743. So we've got some more maxes to do. And I don't know if I've got enough badges left. We may have to try to work on some. Let's go ahead and get the giveaway going, though. We've got, again, the 100 overall. We'll make it just your guys' choice. 100 overall, and let's make it. Let's celebrate our Monday. So Monday is the keyword, and that giveaway is live right now. Monday, MONDAY, and that will be for one of the 100. If I can find the set here, one of our 100 overall masters, or if you want one of the players to help build the master, that's perfectly fine too. But one of our 100 overall masters, which we have a huge selection. I would do it as a vote, but there's just so many of them to choose from right now that it's just not possible to really do it in a poll. And Jesus is, who's the stream boss and controls the content for this week, he said any of the 100 overall masters is what he wanted to give away. So we're solid with the 100s. So Monday, MONDAY. So let's take a look at the badges. Let's see how much work I need to do to try to get another player maxed out here. Because I've got a few days, or I've got 5 hours left on my 8130s, which I've got a ton of those from the Team of the Decade promo hanging out that I can exchange. But I'm sitting on 10 badges, so I need 5 more badges to potentially be able to max out one of the 160 power guys, maybe Matthews or Schofield. Any things from you guys out there on Matthews versus Schofield that you would go with, maybe? Again, my goal is to get to 7K. That's what I'm shooting for, is to hit 7K power, get a nice 2800 power buffer for the all max or the max stat reducer to be able to plug in some of these awesome new boosters that we have and reducers from the new promo. If you guys aren't using these, I think these are game changers, really. The defensive reducer, the offensive reducer, and then being able to flip-flop those and put in the ones you need for defense versus offense are absolute game changers. I think the best thing, we have the pursuit being cut down, so not only are you killing their speed, but then you're killing their angle of attack, and that really can be detrimental. I've had quite a few. I've a noticeable increase in kickoff returns with that defensive reducer in, because you just get the edge on the corner, especially when you slow them down as much as this is. So with this particular configuration, which is not even what I was playing with, you're looking at the cornerbacks and the safeties are down to -8 speed, which is significant. And we were playing the other day in some matches where we had my 105 overall Vic was sitting at a 92 with the power reducers and the full reducers that the opponent had loaded. I think it was Hugo, actually, maybe I was playing against. He's one of the followers here, and man, he just had me at a 92. It was brutal. So Monday giveaway is live. MONDAY. We'll let that run for just a bit. So what are you guys thinking, Schofield or Matthews? So the Madden Max reducer, that one you needed to pick up from. What was the requirement on the Max reducer? Do you remember, Nick?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you remember the Max reducer? What was the requirement to get the Max reducer? I think we just had to hit the. I forget what the unlock condition was on
7,000. I want to say. I think it was 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I thought it just unlocked once we hit the right level, right?
It unlocks at a different one, and then you have to use it at a different power, right?
Yeah.
So
like to unlock the to unlock the next level for me, I've got to hit 7K to get the level 5 reducer.
Which is okay. So I was right. I feel better about myself.
But the initial unlock, I couldn't remember if there was anything special required. But it should be in there. It should be listed in the. And if you go to the front office and go to the stat reducers, you should see that Madden Max reducer, I think, in there.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys can have fun with the rest of the stream. I gotta go knock out a bunch of these issues and try to solve them, and then I'll try to come back on a different day or something. We can have more conversations. Maybe we do this weekly or something.
Yes, sir, Nick. Much appreciated, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
All right, so let's jump back in. So Monday giveaway is live. Let's go ahead. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mavs. I thought it was 3,000 overall, and then you could unlock that, and then you upgrade it by achieving the power goal that's needed to unlock the next level. And we've talked about this on stream before. The thing you want to make sure you have is a power buffer, though, before you upgrade to the next level, because otherwise you'll essentially just be playing for that max reducer. Again, you can see mine requires 4,250 power, so if you cross over the 4,000 mark and reduce, thanks for the follow, CHC Bear. If you only have 4,000 power and you fire that, or 4,250 power, and you fire that reducer, or you upgrade that reducer, then you're going to be in the situation where that is the only reducer that you're able to use. And so really, to be most effective, personally, I think you need to be able to have multiple reducers in play at the same time, not just the all stats reducer, but you really want to be able to target specific positions. So depending on what you're trying to do, if it's OD and you're running a coach with multiple run challenges, then you want the running back to be slow and you want the offensive line to not be able to block. And so you want to be able to pack on and stack these reducers in order to get the best benefit of that max reducer. Thanks for the follow, DJW. So again, Monday giveaway is live. We'll make it just of your choice. So let's go ahead and roll it. MONDAY giveaway is live. I'm going to roll it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fudge Assassin 3 for the win. So he's been following since June 22nd. So just following today. Thanks, appreciate it. Was a good decision. So I will. I'll send you a whisper here, and then we will get your prize. Let me send the whisper real quick, and I need to get the one out for. Fred's already sent me his request. Fred knows the drill. Alright. So let's maybe put in, if you guys had the choice between the two with Schofield, let's run another poll here. And again, maybe we can work towards getting the badges. But so who do we max next? Out of the offensive line, if I went with offensive line, who would you guys pick? So would you go Schofield? Or would you go Matthews? So we'll leave that poll up just for a few minutes. So that poll is live. So I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on which one. I've heard some issues on the offensive guards. People have maxed out, like Upshaw, for example, and then he's just wonky. I don't know if it's the speed and he's running past the blocks. So I'm a little wary of maxing out the offensive guard if they're playing pretty well. Whereas the tackles on the outside, for sure, these guys usually end up getting locked up with somebody, and those 105s are really nice to have to just pancake people, drop them to the dirt when you're trying to run. Schofield with the early lead, 72% of the votes so far, 118 to 122 to 161 now. Yeah, that's my thing. The pulling guards. That's what I've seen on some video that people have shared. DMB is that the pulling guards maxed. Sometimes it seems like they're a little bit too fast, especially if you're playing against a player that doesn't have the max players. They'll actually burn by, and then they don't necessarily pick up the block that you would anticipate. Thanks for the follow, Aiden Keller, and Still City Metal. And so that's my concern with Schofield, really, if I choose to max him out. I'll probably go with one of the 15s just to get that power up again. Again, goal trying to get to the 7K mark, but I think it's going to take another probably 30-40 badges for me to get up to the 7K. We can go ahead and put the other giveaway live also, since we got just a little bit behind. What do we want the keyword to be? What's the keyword? First one I see in chat will be the keyword. Beer. Okay, somebody put Vols. So Vols was the first one that was up there. So we'll do beer. I don't know if we do beer. Let's do Vols. So Vols is the everybody will hate that one. Let's do Vols for the next giveaway for another 100 overall. That giveaway is live. Vols, VOLS. And again, for you guys that don't know, that's short for Volunteers. So the Tennessee Volunteers. I'm a big college football fan, and so that's where my moniker comes from, is Vol for life. If we graduated from there or played sports from there, then you're a Vol for life. And so that's where my moniker comes from. So Vols, VOLS. And SP Bunda there with the Roll Tide, and some Go Dogs in there, some Georgia fans. I see it. I would so play a rescanned college version of Madden Mobile. Vols giveaway is live. VOLS. So let's finish up maybe. So one thing just to remind everybody. So we've got a good number of viewers on. Make sure everybody knows that the signups, the giveaway, or the signups for the Overdrive tournament end today at 4 p.m. So you don't necessarily have to be a member of the Discord in order to play. You do have to be able to coordinate your drives in order to play. But the signups are still live. I should have put the link up on the page. But check out the different forums that follow the Discord server. Check out the Telegram chats, things like that. If you want to play, message me, and I can send you the challenge link. I think maybe I can post that link in here too. Let me try to do that while I'm running here. But the challenge link, you can sign up there, and then that will you get signed up there. Sign up for, if you don't have a challenge account, sign up for a challenge account. And then you can play in the tournament. It's a 3K power limit, so you can use your team. You just have to sub out enough players on your squad to get down to 3,000 power or less. That allows us to do something where we can really play. We can limit, an 8K versus 3K power matchup. We can limit, situations where we have huge boosts that are in. So this really limits the number of boosts that we can use. Really limits the amount of stuff that we're able to, or it really increases, I think, the strategic nature of the matchup. I'm trying to see if I can pull my my link here from the Discord server, and I'll post it in here. So I'm flipping through, still here, just looking. Get to the Discord and get to the announcements. Again, check the announcements there. If you're in the Discord server, then it is in your best interest to join the Overdrive tourney chat, and that tourney chat is where you can easily coordinate with your opponent. All right, so I've got the link here, and I should be able just to post this into the chat for any of you guys that are interested. Giveaway is live right now. VOLS. VOLS giveaway is live for another 100 overall player. And so it looks like the results we got, looks like the majority of people think Schofield. Schofield 587 to 495, really close, 54% to 46%. Yeah, I like Peyton. I didn't pick him on my team. I like the left-handed quarterbacks sometimes. I'm a left-handed player, and Vic, I think sometimes the way he rolls out, you can sometimes hit the weaker side of a player's defense, and you can take advantage a little bit of that configuration. Yeah, for sure. If Crane was here, he'd tell me to max both of them. I just need more badges. I got to work on more badges. All right, so let's go ahead and roll the giveaway. Again, Vols, VOLS, giveaway is live. We're going to roll it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Ravage for Savage for the win. Follower since June 17th. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for hanging out. So let me just write them down here so I don't forget what we're doing. And but again, sign up. Again, that's the link. I'll post it again so you guys can click on that and sign up for the Overdrive tournament. Get my camera to refocus here off my screen. There we go. Let's jump in and maybe play a little bit. So you guys want to do some arena, or you want to do OD? Do some arena. All right. Well, we can play some arena. Let's jump in. Should we do the Wheel of Coaches? Let's do the Wheel of Coaches and see who we're going to play with. And hopefully my coaching wheel is not There we go. Should be back. Yeah, I got a new microphone set up, so I don't think I copied the new microphone over to the wheel overlay. So I'll have to adjust it out. So let's jump in. Let's see if we can play some arena. Hey, Logix. Thanks for the raid, man. So let's go ahead and get the other giveaway live. What's the keyword? Thanks for the host, Maddox. Yeah, Logix is a good one. Let's do Logix for the raid. So let's do Logix. Giveaway is live. L-O-G-I-C-S. Logix, and that'll be for another 100 overall. Thanks for the follow, Hell. And let's jump in. Let's see if we can. We'll use Marone. That's what the wheel gave us, so that's what we will play with. We're gonna lock in the lineup, and let's spin up. This will be about as much arena as what I play live on these streams. So Logix, L-O-G-I-C-S. Giveaway is live. Alright, so we got a good power matchup. I didn't change my boosters out either, so we're running with what I've got. So decent power advantage. Run and spread, obviously, for me, what we'll start out with, but we'll go through Marone's plays. Marone actually has some really nice plays. So I've got put it in performance mode. Let me know if you guys, just so we don't drop any frames or anything, let me know if you guys notice anything weird. Again, giveaway is live. Always test the defense again with spread using triple option switch. I just like to see what the defense is going to do. We'll take it out of bounds so we can play around a little bit with. Let me. Yeah, you're right. Let me get the betting up. Crane remembered and I did not. So let's get the betting up. All right. So betting is live. And Marone, the big thing with him is his run plays. I mean, you have some tremendous ones with fullback dive strong is excellent. Halfback toss motion is excellent. Power G can be good if you get the blocks, but zone weak and halfback zone are all also really excellent plays. Halfback toss mountain, if you get the blocks, is particularly good. You're going to have this halfback toss motion. You're going to have this the wide receiver here come out to the inside, and that gives you an idea of whether you're looking at more of a man or zone sort of configuration. Thanks for the host, Patriots. And so then when we can see this motion happen, and we're going to just follow these blockers out to where they go and try to see if we can get some good yardage. And there I'm just bumping into people trying to see. Yeah, toss motion is a lot of times it's a one-play banger if you're looking for something like that. Zone weak is, again, potential for a one-play banger depending on how the defense is set up. If you can bounce it outside, and what you're going to want to look for with zone weak is you're going to want to look for whether or not the defense is kind of shifting more. If you're lined up heavy, stacked on the side of the run, if they are, then you're going to take it up the middle. If not, you're going to try to bounce it outside. And so here we're going to try to see if we can get a good block, take it a little bit outside, and see if we can pick up some yardage. Excellent run play. The other really nice run play is halfback zone. This is going to be motion also, so you can get kind of an idea of whether you've got a man coverage or a zone coverage situation, and it allows you to be able to follow your blocker then where they go. So you're going to see that they shifted, and that one we're going to take up the middle. The way that block was, the block was coming to where the block was happening to the inside. If we'd gone to the outside, then chances are the fullback would have, the halfback would have released, and they would have dropped the block. Power G is another one of those like that, where we can kind of follow the blocker is what we want to do, and see whether they move more to the outside or more to the inside to be able to play whether you're going inside or going outside. Again, Power G is one of those that if you get the block, it works really well, but it's also one that can be shut down if you don't get that block. Remember, giveaway is live. Logix. Oh, almost a pick there because of the stumble. Didn't wait long enough. I always wait on the crossing routes like that. There's a few of those where the wide receiver can get caught up, or the tight end or slot, whichever way you have the play flipped. But they can get caught up on that crossing route and start to stumble. And you can get through that if you just wait until the stumble finishes and then throw the ball, and they'll still be able to make the pass. Um, Passing wise, my favorite pass play that Marone has is levels wise sell. Obviously, this is a staple across several coaches and is really good for short yardage. If you get the man coverage situation where you get the single coverage on the, in this case, my tight end, then you're going to have that corner route wide open in the end zone here. If we see that we're not getting the coverage, then we also have that scrambling route because you have the halfback and the tight end that are overloading that side, and really makes it good. A good play with a lot of options, which is what I like. I don't like run plays or passing plays, sorry, that don't give me a lot of options and bailouts should things go pear-shaped. So there he's got 8 on my defense already. Logics, again, giveaway is live. Logics, giveaway is live. We'll take a look at this and we'll look at defensive strategy also. So we have the Mills play. We got Nick was on with us for a while today, so we may have to continue our defensive strategy discussion through Wednesday. But this play can be reasonable. You've got the halfback option route that's there in the flat. You have a crossing route that's nice for short yardage, although sometimes it goes a little more shallow than what I would prefer. We have a nice inside route, a deep inside route that's going to, in this case, wide receiver 1, and then wide receiver 2 is going to run a deep inside post route. And so all of these are potential options. The deep post is one that only is going to open up if you're playing a weaker team, or if you just get a busted coverage, a player stumbles, or if they get just the inside track on the defender. Usually you're going to look for the crossing route or the halfback option. And again, if you get some cheating of the defense over into that onto the opposite side or into the direction of the crossing route, then I'll look for that inside route going back the opposite direction to see if that's going to be open. So we've got the not good blocks, so we're just going to dump off to the running back. If you don't engage, in that case, I probably scrambled out a little bit too fast. If you don't get that engagement, then it potentially can lead to that situation. And we've got a blitz coming in. So here we're looking maybe at this inside route that's going to be open, and of course he knocks the ball out of Megatron's hand. So let's go back to the run plays, which is what really you use Marone for. Marone's going to be, again, he's one of my go-tos for LVL. I use him almost religiously because of these run plays. Again, these blockers, you can control where they're going to go, and it's very easy one-play bangers. And yeah, I definitely need to make sure I don't time out 6 Asian. Oh, and I'm locked up. You guys seeing okay still? So in performance mode, oh no. Oh no. The crash. Alright, so there we got a forfeit on a 14-14. Yeah, that's painful. Freezing up. And sometimes that gets caused when you're trying to do this streaming. That's why people ask me why I don't stream my LVL drives, and that's a reason right there, right? That may not have been the game. It may have been something tied up with trying to broadcast and do the screen recording and broadcasting while also running the drives, and I'm not going to risk that in LVL. Let's go ahead and spin the giveaway. So Logics, remember Logics. He sent over a little raid from his channel, so it's much appreciated. But Logics, Logics, and we're going to roll it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 Asian for the win. So he's been following since the 2nd. Much appreciated. Again, really appreciate everybody following the channel. All the subscribers. It really does help make sure. Again, I try to upgrade things. So again, you can tell, tightened up the display quite a bit. Added in the new microphone, so hopefully the sound is quite a bit better, and added some of the screen stuff, so that looks a little bit better. So certainly any of the stuff that comes in on this is going to help show that, again, that it's a viable medium, that people are interested in Madden Mobile streams, and that stuff coming in on the support side does help make sure that I can put stuff into upgrading and adding new stuff that can be useful. Thanks, Windy City. I appreciate it. Trying to get better, and I certainly listen to you guys' feedback. You guys that hit me up on Telegram, or you guys that hit me up in the Discord. I certainly take your feedback. I get quite a bit of good things from the users and from the followers and subscribers about what looks good and what doesn't look good. So I try to make sure I implement that. Again, it's got to be fun for you guys, and it's got to be something that you guys enjoy. So let me hand out the bets too on that one. So that should have gone out. And let's take a look at our defensive strategy before we end. We'll probably we'll do one more giveaway, probably end at 1:30 today. And let's take a look at strategy. So we've talked a little bit about this, and we've started to get into this a little bit, but we've had some really nice conversations with people. I'm hoping on Wednesday we're going to bring in Smashmouth player to come on. I've got a couple people that have expressed interest, and so we'll see who's going to be on Wednesday. But we'll also cover Smashmouth. We'll cover defensive strategies again. Probably make that kind of this week. Yeah, 6 Asian, your choice is a choice of a 100 overall takeover player. Yeah, but since it was a timeout, I went ahead and gave the bets to the ones that picked Vol for the win. Yeah, certainly the dam. I'll bring that up to Nick as soon as I'm off the stream. I'll send it into the EA guys. Yeah, I agree. I did have my camera set up to where I didn't have anything to where I could do a good green screen. In my case, a blue screen. But hopefully hopefully it looks better. And I agree with you, Wendy. It does help cut down on the distractions from background, and it just looks better. I mean, it looks better when you're faded in. So let's take a look at one of the things we talked about on defensive strategy, and love to hear your guys things before we do the final giveaway here. I always try to. Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point, Greeny. I mean, we don't have that much longer to go before the end of reset, and I swap my GP out pretty frequently, so it changes pretty regularly. But and depending on what I'm doing, right? Depending on whether I'm playing Arena or playing LVL, I'll swap things out. But and Greeny can probably agree with this, but and a lot of you competitive guys probably agree. But I try to pick things that have a similar look to them. There are really two schools of thought that you can go with on your defensive strategy. And let's go ahead and get another giveaway up. I'm a little behind on my whispers because we got behind, but I certainly will send them out to you guys. I'm writing them down, and then I'll have them out to you. But there really are two primary kind of schools of thought for the way you approach these defensive configurations. Number one is that do you want to pick a scheme or pick defensive strategies that look the same, right? They have the same formation, or do you? The second school of thought really is that you want to just completely mix up the looks, where maybe they've got a 50-50 chance that they're going to run into pure zone coverage, or they're going to have a 50-50 shot of running into a straight man blitz, right? And so there are again those two primary schools of thought. I subscribe to, as Greeny says there, I subscribe to trying to keep things looking the same. I want to have a similar sort of formation. Greeny says she runs a lot of 3-4, and that's primarily what I run as well. Thanks for the follow, Skylander. For me, the 3-4 is nice. The offensive linemen, sometimes you can. Seems like even the elites can sometimes pick up the blocks that they need to. Obviously, you're going to get beat pretty bad if you have significant power reductions, but I feel like the linebackers have the best ability on the field to change the game, if you will, right? I think they are available to defend the pass, they're available to defend the run, and I think that really is what draws me into the 3-4 side of things over 4-3, where for the most part those guys are going to be down in the trenches and trying to really focus on stopping the run only. Whereas if you have a good linebacker core, I feel like they're able to pick up the slack of having defensive tackles hanging out there. So just, if I'm looking at like my first down and second and short, then I'm obviously looking at trying to stop the run, but I don't want to leave anything too open. As Greeny had mentioned in probably a couple streams ago, I try to focus on, pinch buck is one that can be a risk, right? If you get the penetration and you get in, it's going to be a sack. I mean, it certainly is going to cause chaos for the person that's up against that. But if somebody can get the ball off quickly, then it can potentially leave some seam routes, especially wide open. So like an X follow, something like that. Those things are going to be pretty wide open going down the field with pinch buck. But then, in my first down case, pinch dog 2 press is one where that is going to be effective at stopping those center runs. You've got some zone coverage out in the flat to hopefully maybe stop some of these toss plays that are out there. It's not going to stop all of them for sure, but certainly I find it effective in that regard. That it does help to not only cinch up that center area, but because those players stay out in the flat, sometimes it can be effective for stopping the outside run. And I'm just going to send these whispers here while I'm thinking about it. IGN. But that's my personal thought there on my first down. Majority of players are going to start with a run on first down. They're going to test what you have, and I see a lot of people also playing a ton of plays. They'll have 6 or 7 defensive plays in their strategy. Thanks for the follow, RJC. But I don't subscribe to that either. I like to keep it to where it's maybe 3-4 at the max. Either one, 6 Asian, you can hit me up either one and let me know. Just let me know UID, IGN, and your and the player choice that you want. Since we're talking about defense, let's go ahead and get the other giveaway up, and let's do defense since we're talking about defense. So defense for the final giveaway. Defense, that giveaway is live. DEFENSE. Defense. So, I like to try to keep it to where I know, at least I have an idea of what's going to happen. You can see as I go through, there's not many. There I have 4 in my second and short. And second and short is one where you want some variety, I think, because people could pass, people could throw. Really depends on the ball situation that they're in. And you can see, configuration-wise and look-wise, these all look very similar, right? These are going to be 2 linebackers hanging out in the center. You're going to have the DB surrounding on the outside, 2 safeties, the 2 corners. All of these are going to have a similar sort of look, and so that's the idea here for my strategy. I've got 3-4 defenses in primarily, and these are all going to be ones that look similar. So the player will come up, they'll take a snap on second and short, and it might be cover 2 man that they see, right? They'll next time around they may see Sam Buck, and then they'll have that Sam blitz coming in, right? And so those things are going to throw people off in terms of what's coming at them, and that's what I like to try to do, is keep the same on-field look. And one way to test that, Seasons is a terrible place to actually test whether or not the defensive strategy works. But if you want to see what the defensive configuration looks like when it trots out onto the field, then Seasons is an excellent place to be able to look at a particular defense and see what happens, right? If you're really trying to get that one look on the field, then you can use Seasons to take a look at exactly what that is going to look like to your opponent. And again, it won't give you any sort of measure as to whether or not it's going to be effective or not against your opponent, because obviously in Seasons it's pretty easy, even on tougher difficulties. But certainly it can let you know what that is going to look like, and you can also use it to find where there are just glaring holes in the defense, right? If in Seasons your defense is able to get chewed up, then there's some issues there that 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 a good player is going to be able to potentially exploit. And certainly the best way to test is against your league mates, and then go back and forth. I typically play at least 3 matches a day, up to probably 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches a day against my own league mates, playing against some of our guys that have 8K and 9K power. And if you can play those, then you know what defenses are running, and that certainly is where you can try to tune out what boosts you're going to use. If we look at like my third and long sort of look, you can see what I like to run there. 3 double sky is one that I think gets a lot of fumbles. Cover 2 sink is one that people use. And what's nice with the AI is even if you know what the defensive strategy is, these are all going to look potentially different every time a new defense trots out. Again, giveaway is live. Defense, DEFENSE. And that's for our final 100 overall TO player for the day. But, you know, these things can look different, right? This is something that's interesting with the AI-based defense, is that you can end up in a situation where these do still look different. But you can see Mike scrape 3 press, cover 2 sink. You know, they're going to be slightly different looks, obviously, when that comes out onto the field. But hopefully with 3 double sky, cover 2 sink, Mike scrape 3 press, those are going to have the situation where you have the 3 players, especially Mike scrape 3 and 3 double sky. Those are going to have the 3 players in the midfield, 3 players out deep, and then you're not sure which type of blitz is coming around. And then with cover 2 sink, that mixes it up just a little bit and adds some flat coverage. The purple, there's actually a post on Reddit from HSD from last year, 2 years ago almost, that talks about what the different circles mean. So the blue, the yellow, and the purple circles, exactly what sort of coverage you're going to get. Like the little small orange means contain, right? And so you know that that's going to be a contain coverage circle, right? And so these purple coverage zones are actually really versatile zones. They can do a number of things. They can hang out in the flat. They can provide pass support. And so I like these. I like the plays also that have these purple zones out in the flat because they do provide, I think, robust coverage overall. Yeah, and Greeny has a good defensive tutorial as well on Reddit. I need to try to get some more posts up so we can kind of live shoot those things out to you guys, and you guys can check them out. Greeny, if you can find it, send me the link, and I'll try to post it. But yeah, certainly check that out. You know, those again, HSD had a good post that I reposted some time ago, so you can look for my posts and scan through there because it was actually in a comment from HSD where that was posted, and I reposted it on Reddit as a full-out, just singular post that you can find. And then again, Greeny has a really nice tutorial overall on some of the things that we're talking about. So on 2-point conversion, what do you guys like to use? What are your what works for you guys there? This is always one that people have a lot of questions about, and I bet I've not been keeping up with my queue. If anybody's requested, if not, I'll get to them on the next setup, and I bet I do have some stuff. Yeah, we've got some from a while ago. I'll mark those in and go. Yeah, pump block. Yeah, pump block. Where I hate using pump block. I can't do that. I feel bad using pump block. There are some things I just refuse to do, and that's one of them. Let's see. Greeny sent it via. Greeny, if you're on Reddit, do you care to find the one, if you can, that one about the zone circles also? On Reddit, do you care to find the one, if you can, that one about the zone circles also? On Reddit, do you care to find the one, if you can, that one about the zone circles also? So here is the post from Greeny for anybody that wants that. So defense giveaway is live. Got about 2 minutes left on the stream today. I appreciate everybody hanging out as always. It's always fun. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. Enjoy talking about things that you guys find useful. Again, things that you guys want to see on the channel, hit me up on Telegram, Discord, all that. Any of those places, I'm pretty easily accessible. And let me know what you'd like to see, what you'd like to chat about. Hopefully we'll have some more promo reveals coming up also, and then Nick on the stream also during the lunchtime. And then probably once things get a little bit more normal, we'll move more to probably a Madden After Dark sort of thing, or a Madden at midnight. late stream, 11 o'clock, something like that, which is more conducive to my normal kind of free time schedule. Again, giveaway is live. Defense, last one of the day. Let's go ahead and roll it out. Let's end the Monday stream strong. Defense, D-E-F-E-N-S-E. We're going to roll in 5, 4, 3, and thanks for the cheer, Fred, 2, 1. DJW for the win. DJW 1028. Thanks for the cheer, Fred. So, and again, Stream Boss is up. So as you guys do that, whoever makes it to the end of the week, they will be the mod for the next week. They'll get to pick the content, get to pick which giveaways that we want. And then they can come on the stream if they want. You can live stream on here with me, like Nick and some of the other guests that we have. And then, yeah, okay, so you've got it under the 4 Buzz Flats. Awesome. And then, also we can play up a game in OD. But DJW was our final winner for the day. Guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the cheer. Thanks for the new followers, new subs. And we will catch you guys on Wednesday. Have a good Monday.